Hi, I'm C.W. Bear. In this short video for the next few minutes, I'm going to encourage you to go to my site, flyingwithoutinstruction.com. That's all one word, flyingwithoutinstruction.com, and perfectly free of charge, read my book, Flying Without Instruction. This history of my father, A.W. Bear, and of the men he worked with looks at an important chapter in aviation history. The idea of the small, fast, light, maneuverable helicopter. The cool helicopter. This is the story behind the creation of the Hughes 269 and the Hughes 369, or as it was called during the Vietnam War, the Loach. You've probably seen the Loach. It has appeared in many movies. Here's the Loach outrunning a big Huey helicopter in the 1995 movie Outbreak. You might think helicopters always had the Loach's ability to dash and twist, dive and climb. However, the dream of such a craft took decades to realize. Along the way, there were a lot of roadblocks, some technical, some human. That dream arose among men working at General Electric and at Kellett Aircraft during the 1940s. Their vision of a personal aircraft stemmed from the 1930s lore of the autogyro. Here is my father in an XR-10 autogyro. In 1945, he worked for GE as they tried to fit jet-powered rotor blades created by Kellett Aircraft to an autogyro. By 1947, they had given up on the idea. In contrast to the dream of a personal aircraft, the military long sought a sturdy, heavy workhorse. So despite this dream of a personal aircraft, by 1947, many of the dreamers found themselves working on the Kellett XR-10, the world's largest helicopter. Here's my father flying the XR-10 in Pennsylvania during September of 1947. He described this flight as a close call. The XR-10 had serious problems. In 1949, many of the men at Kellett were hired by Hughes Aircraft in Los Angeles to continue work on the Flying Crane, another huge craft, one pioneered by Kellett. However, after the Flying Crane attempted to destroy itself in 1952, my father left Hughes Aircraft. He and his engineer friends continued to dream of a small helicopter. Here's my father flying the XA-5 at the American Helicopter Company in Los Angeles during March of 1950. By 1951, several of these same men were also working on the sleek, though underpowered, McCulloch MC-4. Here's my father flying the MC-4 in Victorville, California for the 1954 science fiction movie Gog. He started as the test pilot and became head of sales. In 1955, Hughes Helicopter in Culver City purchased the MC-4's blade and hub designs. Many of the same men who had been at Kellett, McCulloch, and American Helicopter lent to a new small helicopter, the Hughes 269. In a modernized form, that helicopter is still being made today. My father headed up sales for Hughes Helicopter, worked intensely with Army aviation, and began to show everybody what the machine could do. This included a 1959 Life magazine article in which he flew my mother to Las Vegas while a crew shot photos along the way. The dream of a personal helicopter had finally come true. That being said, during the early years, the 269 didn't always fly well. Back then, the 269 still needed refinement. The Army got the bug, and in 1960 asked for a slightly larger helicopter that used the same light, fast, maneuverable technology. The bidding process created a lot of controversy. Here's my folks trying to relax in Hawaii during 1967 after the congressional investigation. I won't spoil the story for you. Go to flyingwithoutinstruction.com, that's all one, flyingwithoutinstruction.com, and read the history. It's online, it's free. I hope you enjoy the story. I've just scratched the surface. As my father would say, cheers!